guys. Welcome back to the I Don't Know podcast. This is your host, Veronica Towers. Today is going to be another Friends episode. I do want to say a trigger warning right here, right now, that this episode will feature some pretty unfortunate topic, and it's going to focus on mass shootings, most specifically on mass shootings in America. I have a friend, Emma, who you will meet in a minute, who has unfortunately had to have been put in a situation where she was in the center of a mass shooting. I hate saying things like, I can't imagine what that's like, because like she actually went through it. So, I sound like a dick saying that, but of course, no one could ever imagine what that could be like unless you're right there in the moment. So we're going to talk to her today. We're going to get to know what was going on inside of her head while all that was happening and, hear her story on this. So stand by. Let me get her on the meeting. Hi, Emma. Welcome to the I Don't Know podcast.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great, just here. Wow,
Yeah.
A long time no see. We were wanting to do this for so long.
I know. I've been trying to get you on my podcast for probably like a little less than a year, and it's been for the same thing. Like I've been asking you ever since I started this, and it just hasn't happened.
I've been so busy with school. I was going to school at that time and a full-time job. So it was insane. I don't even know how I did it, but
yeah,
here
I don't
we
even know how you
are.
have the time to do it today. Oh, because you have one day off and you're using it for this. So thank you. I like that you can get days off during the week, because I feel like the world isn't as loud as it is on the weekend, so you could kind of do things.
Usually my day offs are Wednesdays. I love having Wednesdays off because you find nobody. Honestly,
Yeah.
like Wednesdays, it's the best days to have off. I do doctor's appointments and whatever the world opens on during the week.
Yeah, and you work kind of far from where you're living right now, right?
Currently, yes, because the whole riots in downtown, we were forced to move out. It wasn't safe to be there. But probably I'll say maybe next year. I am currently looking to move back to LA, but I am going to give it some time.
You're a mother effing city girl.
I love LA, but I also want a new car. So I was thinking of moving around my parents' area. They live a little bit outside of the city, the Rancho Cucamonga area, the Inland Empire. So it is a little bit more affordable. I was thinking of buying a house, but I'm not ready to have that stress of a house.
Yeah. A mortgage and all that shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well, let's just jump straight into the topic of today's episode. I already gave a kind of intro to explain, just to kind of give a trigger warning, because it is kind of a like scary topic. And I don't, if people don't want to listen to that, if it triggers them, then we shouldn't make them listen,
It's just traumatizing, and just to get back to the real world, it's been hard. It's been 2 years, but I'm still trying. I get panic attacks from time to time, and right now, especially with the whole COVID, has been a little bit more difficult to be out and about, especially me, but we're trying.
Okay, well, I'll ask you some questions, because I know it's a hard topic to just like discuss about. So I came up with a little bit of like a structured way to ask you questions about it, so that way we don't have to like talk too deep about your traumas. I'm not trying to make you relive that today, but just like a story time, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm okay talking about it. I mean, I probably will get a little bit emotional, but
I mean, it's natural considering what you went through. Let's talk about where you were, what happened. From what I know, it was like on the news everywhere. There was a shooting at a Trader Joe's, and you were there.
we were just shopping like a normal day. It was on a Saturday on the afternoon. It was like around 3 p.m. It was Saturday or Sunday. I think it was a Saturday. We were just shopping regularly. I remembered being with my boyfriend at that time at the store, and he was just like in a rush. I remember just him telling me like, hurry up, we gotta go. Like I want to go home. I'm so tired, blah, 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 blah. Me, my therapy has always been grocery shopping as an adult.
Yeah.
I love wandering around the aisles, especially Trader Joe's. For some reason, the way Trader Joe's is made, or design, or whatever you want to call it, I find that's my pleasure. That's just, I can spend so much money there and I don't care. And I remember me speaking to the manager, the one that passed away. I remember me asking her a question and she was like, no. I remember her saying like, oh no, she was so sweet. She was so nice. And he was just like, hurry up, we gotta go, we gotta go. So I was just like, whatever. Like, I didn't even end up grabbing what I was asking her. So I ended up just leaving and paying for my stuff. And we loaded the car, we put, I have this habit of every time that I get in the car, I put the windows down immediately. I remember just getting in the car, your normal routine of you just getting in the car, putting seatbelt on and whatever. When we were exiting the parking lot, I remember hearing a lot of sirens all at once, like a zillion sirens all at once. And he was driving, so he was like, okay, we'll just let the sirens pass by. Within like 30 seconds of him speaking to me about it, a car just crashes in the corner, like right on the corner of the Trader Joe's exit. There's like a light pole right there. Yeah, like a light pole, and he just crashes. And in my head, I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. Um, my brain didn't process anything. Let's say 5 seconds later, a bunch of police officers just pulled behind that car. But at the same time, when the car crashed, he took out a gun and he started shooting at the cops. This have been probably the 10 longest seconds of my life. I
I'm
remember this.
sure. Felt like a
I remember,
lifetime.
yeah, until today, I still haven't been able to process a lot of things because I remember the little things. When
Yeah.
when I space out, I will remember like, oh my God, this happened. Well, at the same time, he took out a gun. The police officer started shooting at him. But within that time, he was able to open the door, shoot, and run inside the store. The police officers were shooting at pretty much nothing at that point because he was already inside the store. But keep in mind, he probably shot like the most 5 times, I'll say. Police officers shot like 30 to 50 times all at once. One of the bullets ended up exploding on the glass wall of Trader Joe's. And the fragment of the bullet ended in one of my eyes, which was my right side. At that moment, I didn't feel no pain because I was in shock. My body was frozen,
Yeah.
and but I couldn't move. I just couldn't move. I was I, I couldn't process anything. I remember just looking at him and him just screaming at me and saying, "Why is your eye bleeding? Why is your eye bleeding?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like at the same time,
Wow, you couldn't even feel
I
it.
was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Your eye is bleeding. Your eye is bleeding." I don't know how he was able to drive backwards and literally exit to the back of the parking lot of Trader Joe's, jump the sidewalk, pop the tire, and managed to drive himself to the ER, which is Kaiser Permanente on Sunset. And he just literally like drives off. Like he didn't even notice he had a flat tire.
He was just on the go.
Yeah, he was just like, okay, I got to get you to a hospital. Like at that time, when he started driving within like 5 minutes, I'll say, because probably Churchill's is not that far from Sunset. I honestly don't remember, but within the 5 minutes, I remember just looking at my eye, like putting the wind, the little thing that covers
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sun.
The visor.
I
Uh-huh.
Yeah, putting it down, opening it, and looking at my eye, and noticing that I had a big hole between the white part and the brown part of your eye. And I just saw like a lot of blood out of nowhere. Like I was literally like crying blood. And within that time of me looking at it, my eye went black. That eye just started seeing all black. Like I couldn't see anything. I panicked more. I started praying. I was like, oh my God, God, please, like, please, I want to be able to see. Like, I don't want people to notice that I can't see. Anyways, at that time, I wasn't even processing anything. I was just like, literally just like, oh my God, my eyesight, like, what just happened? Like, I don't even know what got in my eye. I walked into Kaiser, and you know how when you're checking yourself in, they're like so slow.
Yeah.
um for some reason the girl was like, what happened, are you okay? I was just like I was just like literally shaking. I remember it was her giving her my ID, and she just kept asking me, are you a member, are you a member? I didn't say shit because I couldn't, I'm sorry, I couldn't process anything.
Your
And she
fucking
checked me
eye
in.
was bleeding.
After that, She put the bracelet on me. She's like, okay, have a seat. She's like, they're going to check you in or whatever. I remembered sitting in the chair waiting for them to check me in the ER. And my body processed everything within like 2 minutes. Like literally sat there and my body was like nonstop shaking. It was the first time I personally experienced a panic attack. I remember trying to call everyone and nobody answered. Nobody answered. My mom and my parents, my stepmom and my dad were camping somewhere up north and they had no service, like whatsoever service. And I called like the third time the call went through and I remember my mom asking me, how are you calling me if I don't have any service? And I said, Mom, I got shot in the eye. I'm in Kaiser in the ER. And the call dropped.
Oh
The
my
call dropped.
God.
The call dropped. And at that moment, the nurse called me in and he's like, oh, what happened? He's like, what did you do to yourself? How did you hurt yourself? And I was like, I didn't hurt myself. I'm like, you need to turn on the news. You need to turn on the news. And he was like, why? What's wrong? And I was like, I couldn't even talk. I was just looking at like, oh, lost. The moment he turned on the news and he saw that there was like, they were just talking about everything that had happened.
Yeah.
He puts me in a wheelchair and he starts running with me through the whole hospital.
All of a sudden.
They didn't ask me for anything after that. They didn't ask me anything. They just asked me if I was allergic to anything. And after that, they were like, you're going into emergency surgery right now. Like, I don't even care if you give me permission. Like, accordingly, if you get hurt from a bullet and it's anywhere on your face, you don't require, or in general, I guess you don't require any permission to get surgery. So the nurse didn't.
You into like emergency surgery?
Well, the guy asked me a bunch of questions. He was like, oh, like, tell me what happened. What were you doing? And then I started explaining myself and he was like, no, emergency room right now. Then I ended up seeing a different nurse. I saw 10 doctors within like 30 minutes and nobody was able to tell me anything. Everybody was like, you'll be fine. We'll do our best, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I just remember changing clothes, being put in a bed and knocked out. I guess hours passed by. Hours passed by and I woke up like around 11 p.m. This happened like around 3:30. The incident happened like around 3:30. I was at the hospital like around 4, inside like around 5. Yeah, but like around 11 I was out of emergency. I remember just waking up from the bed and looking around and seeing my parents. My dad had a white tank top, shorts. I think he had like swimming shorts. My sister had a bathing suit with a floaty around her waist.
Aww.
And my mom still had a hat on. Like, those beach hats on.
Yeah.
Well, that happened. I was sent home the same night. The next day, the Kaiser was like, we need to see you again. We need you to come back. The doctor that did my surgery was like, okay, well, listen. She's like, I never done this before. This is probably like my 4th surgery I've done, especially on the eye.
Yeah, that's and scary.
She's like, most of the time I do it because people end up hurting themselves with the champagne bottle. Every time they open champagne, the thing pops in their eye. And it's very common. And she's like, I really thought that that's what had happened to you. Well, thank God your body normally will try to heal itself and protect itself from whatever strange thing you get on it or whatever you do to itself. My eye had already shedded out the metal part of the bullet.
Okay.
Because I had too much gunpowder. I can't see. When you take a shower and the mirror gets really foggy?
Yeah.
That's how I see in this eye. That's exactly how I see in this eye. Until this day. And it's going to get worse and worse because what it actually hit was the line of the black part of the eye. The fragment of the bullet went directly under. So the muscle, every time it focuses to see, it loses its strength. So it takes a lot. It does too much work than it should be doing normally.
Have you had to start wearing any glasses or anything because of it?
I wear contact. I wear one contact in that eye, the 30-day contact, and then she removes it and puts a new one. I did that for an entire year. I had 3 stitches in my eye. I had 1 internal and 2 external, which I had them removed while being awake and no sedation, it was really scary feeling like.
Oh my God. Okay, like I'm not trying to turn this crazy story to make it about my stupid phobia, but my one of my biggest fears in my life is pointy things like towards my eye. So I can't even fucking like
I
imagine.
was I was having a panic attack when the nurse was like, if you fucking move. I remember the nurse telling me this straight up. He was like, if you fucking move, you're gonna fuck up your eye more than already is.
So
So you
you just
better
like
sit
see the
steady.
thing coming.
I was just there like they were holding my head straight. Two people were holding my head straight and I was just like this.
Oh,
And I can feel they did it with a needle, with those not a needle. What did they do it with? They did it with some specific thing and I can feel like my eyeball just being pulled out like
oh my
I can
God,
personally tell
Emma.
you, I will never in my life put myself through any cosmetic surgery or any implants or anything that has to do with needles or stitches on my body because of that. Literally, that.
Scarred you for life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sure like not even just physically, like that shit scars you emotionally. Talk to me about
Well,
that. The fear that you're experiencing while you're in that situation, and then the fear after of like, can you ever even go to a grocery store anymore? What do you
I am able to go to a grocery store, but I always have to have someone with me. I can't do anything by myself anymore. I used to be very independent. I am the type of person that doesn't require help from anybody or anything or
Yeah, you
whatever.
are.
I like doing everything by myself. But since that happened, I always have in the back of my head what happens if I get hurt and who's gonna take me to the hospital.
Oh.
I don't know. There's a lot of things that I can't do. I can't be in a party anymore, or when there is a lot of people at a restaurant and I start hearing like all the voices at the same time,
Uh-huh.
I will get a panic attack and I'll be like, no, we gotta go. And there's been times where I am having lunch or dinner with someone and it gets really crowded and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do this. We gotta go. Like it's
Yeah. And I mean, it's fucking understandable with what you went through. Like, no one can hold you to it. Of course, you're going to have anxiety being in a public place when something so fucking crazy happened to you in a public place.
I'm 100% sure they didn't talk about other people that got hurt because I know there were other people
The
caught.
crossfire shooting, right?
I kept in contact with a couple of the victims. Yes. Yeah. There was I remember somebody speaking about an older couple. She passed away and they never spoke about that. Again and again. With everything going on, it does not look good for the police department in general. Personally, they've been really good with me when it came to therapy. Paying for everything. My surgery was paid by them. My doctor's appointments are paid by them. My
Oh, wow.
psychiatrist, my therapist, everything. They have done an amazing job. I'm not gonna say they haven't.
Okay, so the bullet that hit you was the officers, not the
Yes,
shooter.
ma'am. No, because the shooter was shooting
Fuck!
the
I
opposite
did not
way.
know this. What a fucking
Yeah.
twist.
If you look at the video, there's a video from specifically from the police office when I actually went to court and they were doing the whole investigation of what had happened.
Mhm.
They showed me a vision board of my vehicle, my face, myself from the police officer's camera when he ran in the back of the concrete wall. The main officer that right through the window that ended up hitting me.
Holy shit. Okay, so how does that police report go? They just kind of tell you like we'll handle everything?
Well, it wasn't mostly the detectives that were doing the job.
Okay.
Right now we're in trial. We did trial last year. Yeah, last year in the summer. I saw the guy for the second time.
You saw the shooter?
Mm-hmm. I saw the shooter. We had trialed. And right now he's being evaluated for psychotherapy, I think, because they're trying to believe that
Oh,
he's
wow.
crazy. Motherfucker's not crazy. He knew damn well what he was doing.
So it was like a getaway car that ended up getting hit and then he started shooting at the cops to get away, right? That's kind of what went down in that.
Well, no, actually, he actually had a minor in the car, in the passenger seat. There was a 17-year-old in the passenger seat that was shot in the arm. He had shot his grandma a couple times in the legs,
Oh,
and he was running away
yeah.
from the police. Yeah, so he has multiple counts of a lot of things. It's not just Trader Joe's. He had a
Yeah.
minor in the car, and one of my friends is actually friends with that minor.
Oh shit.
Small world.
Yeah. And like
So it was a lot.
he was like with the minor,
The minor was in the passenger seat unconscious because if you see when he crashes into the pull, you see the body there, like unconscious on the car. A lot went through, but they don't talk about it because it doesn't look good on them.
Yeah, I mean, like the news that did make it, to headlines. It's still unfortunate that the worker there lost her life and all that, but still, they don't talk about
But they
all
don't
the
talk
other
about
fucking
everybody else.
commotion that the police caused.
No, the other children's. I think about all these people all the time. I remember seeing like kids going inside the store when I was walking out of the store. What happens to those kids? They're traumatized for the rest of their lives. The worker, the parents, like I said, there were other people that got hurt from the same bullets that came from the same police officers. I just honestly, I have nothing against police officers. I respect anybody that would give up their life to protect us, but also I feel like they're not well trained for the job they have and that responsibility that they're taking.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean,
There
like,
were a lot of mistakes done that day.
of course, it could have been handled in a way that wasn't going to have so many casualties. Why are there
How is it that
rounds?
how is it that the person that created the entire mess didn't get a freaking scratch on their fucking head?
Yeah, and everyone around them got hurt.
Exactly. Can you explain that to me? Because I haven't been able to process that part.
And how are you feeling these days? I mean, I know you're saying with Corona, it's still a little bit scary, but are you doing therapy for this? Are you taking care of your mental health?
To be honest with you, both of my therapists have quit on me. One of them quit on
Oh,
me because she couldn't. One of them quit on me. The first one quit on me because she couldn't handle the fact that I was too traumatized. I was too fucked up for her. She did one session with me and she
shit.
fucking quit. She fucking quit on me. The second one quit on me because my schedule didn't work with her schedule.
Wow. I
I
mean,
mean,
then
the
we're
last
good
time I checked,
therapists
I
for
was the one that needed help, not them. But okay.
you. Then they just weren't good therapists for you. Like, go look for one that
I mean,
has.
I pay for my own stuff because my
Okay.
job provides insurance. So most of the
Okay.
things have been run under my pocket. And if I wanted to, I can bill them out. I'm pretty sure they'll pay me back. But
Yeah.
I'm doing it for my sake. I haven't been able to go back to that Trader Joe's. I'm not gonna be able to go back to there. I mean, I've driven past it and I get a really bad panic attack every time I go by there. But for me to tell you I can do a lot of things by myself, it's not gonna happen anytime soon.
Yeah. And that's okay. I mean, take your time. It's something fucking life-changing that happened to you, and the fact that you got hurt and you have like these scars and these memories to remind you that this happened to you, it's going to be a little rough for you to go back to like regular programming.
Yeah.
What do you think about, let's get an opinion piece on what you think about gun control in this country.
I mean, honestly, we all have a right to have whatever we want, but I do believe that we should get a little bit more training and more background checks.
Yeah.
I don't understand how it's that other countries are able to have control over things like this and we can. How is it? Well, personally, I know that it's easier to get a hold of a gun than fucking candy in this country.
Yeah,
Um,
sometimes Walmart,
what is it? The exporting goods sells guns too, no?
sporting goods, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're on the
So
shelves. Like what the
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. There definitely needs to be reform. Listen, it's confusing because I am more like leftist when it comes to politics and all of that, or not leftist, but progressive. But I have always been like a firm believer in the right to bear arms. If you want to have a gun to protect yourself in your home, get you a little
There's
gun to
nothing wrong
protect
with
your
that.
home. You
Yeah. There's
don't need
nothing wrong with that.
you don't need an AR-15. You don't need
Yeah. Don't.
automatic weapons. You don't need all that.
No, you don't. Exactly. You don't. Or you can be responsible enough to keep them locked down, safe for your children not to get a hold of them. Personally, my family owns guns, so that's why I can't tell you, be a hypocrite and be like, no, you can't
Yeah.
have this, you can't have that. You need to teach yourself to be a little bit more considerate towards other people or your surroundings or your family.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that it's a subject that is like long overdue to be tackled in government. Our government has like failed to deal with that issue because we're having so many fucking mass shootings all the time. Like it just became normal every day. There was another shooting today at another school.
I know what you
Oh
mean.
yeah.
I'm from LA. So I remember some of my friends at a younger age being able to get a hold of certain guns, and I was just like, excuse you, we're in middle school. Like, where'd you
Dude,
get that?
seriously. And like these kids think it's cool to have like that thing on you, you know? I'm strapped or whatever. Like, bro, you're gonna kill
Bro,
somebody.
please, boy, have a seat. But
Exactly.
no, I totally understand you. It's very terrifying, especially knowing that we're not safe at a grocery store, at school, at movie theaters, you name it. Like, what am I supposed to do? Stay home?
No, you're absolutely right. It's ridiculous. I agree with you. I mean, like I said, I am a fan of the right to bear arms. Also, if you want to protect your home, protect your home. That's what the law was
Yeah.
created for. And when this law was created, we didn't have fucking automatic weapons that could kill like hundreds of people in minutes. Like that wasn't why it was created. So we need to revisit that and update it to today's terms. I mean, hopefully things change though. And I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. But thank you for sharing your story. I know that it's not fun to go back there mentally. So I appreciate you taking the time.
Just talking about it actually helps to tell myself that I'm okay and I'm still
You're here today,
here.
able to tell your
Yeah.
story. Yeah.
Yeah, because unfortunately other people didn't make it, and
Yeah.
we have to be thankful for life. I've been depressed. Well, I have let that incident get to me for a while. I've been depressed and I haven't been able to get out of it. I have come to the point where life that you have to be thankful for, even just being here in the moment and being present, even though COVID has messed up everything for everybody else, but you have to realize that not everybody else is here, right?
Yeah. It's tough. And it does make me like not emotional. I mean, I can't cry anymore because I'm on antidepressants, but it does make me sad that, you know, shit like this is happening and that someone that, you know, I know so personally has to live with that. That's tough. And I'm sorry, but again, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your story. And now you can say you were finally on the podcast. All right, Emmy, thank you. I'll TTYL, sis.
Anytime.
Okay.
Sure. Bye.
Bye.
Buenas noches. Have fun.